This book is called Crinkleroot's Guide to Knowing Animal Habitats. It's one of a series of Crinkleroot's nature guides that can help you learn all different kinds of things about nature and animals. So if you like it, maybe you will try some other books by Crinkleroot. There he is in his little canoe. Hello, my name is Crinkleroot. I'm an explorer and a wildlife finder. I found so many wild creatures sharing the sweet earth I lost count somewhere about 1 billion. I see so many wild critters because I know where they all live. The natural places where wild animals live are called habitats. I'm going to visit lots of different wildlife habitats. You can come too. The 3 things wildlife need to survive are food, cover or hiding places, and water. Find all 3 and you will find wildlife. The first place I want to show you is a watery place or wetland. A wetland is any place where water is near, at, or just above the surface of the ground. You may have a tiny wetland in your own backyard where the soil is always moist and the grass grows more lush. The 3 most common wetlands are marshes, swamps, and bogs. A marsh is full of tall grasses, cattails, and reeds. Here, water is above ground in many spots. A swamp is a place where many woody plants grow, and water covers nearly all the land. A bog is a place where the land actually floats on water. The shallow water of any wetland is a world of plants, rocks, sand, and sunken trees. It is a rich, weedy habitat for underwater wildlife. In a woodland, tree trunks, stems, and branches crisscross and overlap. It takes sharp eyes to pick out even the noisiest creatures like hammering woodpeckers or chirping red squirrels. But make no mistake, any woodland is habitat for a variety of wildlife. For every animal you hear or see, there are many more hiding. In the woods, animals may be living high in the tree tops, in the middle branches or trunks, or on the woodland floor. See if you can find the wildlife living in this patch of woods. There are 24 in all. See, there's a moth, a deer, here's another deer, a whole bunch of bees, birds, another moth, a snake, birds, bugs. Climb aboard my old jalopy. There are some interesting places I want to show you that are miles apart. Along the way, we'll be sure to spot some wildlife near the road. Rabbits, deer, woodchucks, and other normally shy creatures come out to the roadsides to feed on lush green plants growing in the open sunlight. Roadsides are also hunting grounds for hungry crows, hawks, and kestrels. Those are the birds that hunt from the air. Our first stop is a farmer's cornfield. Cornfields provide an ever-changing habitat for wildlife. In the spring, gulls, swallows, and bluebirds feed on beetles, grubs, and earthworms unearthed by the farmer's plow. By midsummer, when the corn stalks have grown high enough to provide cover, small animals move in to nest and raise their young. At ripening time, the cornfield becomes a supermarket for raiding raccoons, and by late fall, after the field of corn has been freshly cut and harvested, the scattered kernels are a feast for migrating geese. From small hillside meadows to vast rolling plains, grasslands are wide open spaces where wildlife can thrive. At first, grassland looks void of anything but waving green stems, but take time to really look and you will discover something wonderful. All these animals, the coyote, the red fox, the badger, this goldfinch, this is a tick, you don't want that to bite you, butterfly, all kinds of spiders and grasshoppers, voles and woodchucks. Wherever the road leads, you will find wildlife living there. Even the hottest, driest places can be home to animals. In the dry lands, wildlife find cover behind sagebrush and cactus, beneath rock ledges, or for some, simply by digging in and covering up with sand. Succulent plants provide both food and water, and for predators, there is prey. Here's a sampling of the many wildlife species that inhabit dry lands from sagebrush country to desert sands. Mule deer, armadillo, this is a kangaroo rat, I bet you know what that is, a rattlesnake. Jackrabbits, road runner. This is a collared lizard, a horned lizard, lots of kinds of lizards and lots of birds, like a broad-billed hummingbird or an elf owl. Learn to recognize the different wildlife habitats from lowlands to mountains, wetlands to drylands. Don't be fooled by how small a place may be. Some wild critters get by in surprisingly little space. A bit of brush, a swampy puddle, a pile of rocks, a tiny woodlot, or a lone cactus. Well, now I told you we'd cover a lot of territory, and we did. I counted over 80 different wildlife species on our trip. I hope you enjoyed the journey. I did. So did Sassafras. That's the Jeep. She always likes riding in the old jalopy. Oh no, that's it. We'll see you soon. Until then, remember, wherever you go, you share the world with wildlife.